Welcome back to the show and welcome to another edition of Cheese and Packers. I'm Kelly Price. Chris Barrier has the night off and we are joined by Michael Cohen from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. So we had family night last night, so that was a big deal. Some good, bad, and ugly. First, Mason Crosby went 5 for 11. We know he has a new holder, new long snapper, but what happened there?
Yeah, so it was really a question that's going to play out over the next couple of days, I think, because at times during practice yesterday, there were issues with the snap, and at times in the last week, there have been issues with the hold. So I think that the fact that 66% of that operation is brand new is going to take some adjustment, and I think that's why special teams coordinator Ron Zook said it's really important for them to get some chances this week. And so he joked that if there were a couple drives that didn't reach the end zone and stalled so that they had to kick a field goal, he wouldn't be too disappointed because it gives them a chance to figure stuff out.
And so Justin Vogel maybe not adjusting well to the holding, but he is looking good. He's landed all 4 of his punts inside the 20 last night. 2 were inside the 5. Is this now his job to lose that starting punting job?
I think it is. And so he sort of had this pattern through the first for the first week of camp where he has 80% good kicks and then one that's really kind of weird if they do a set of 4 or 5. But he's shown that he has a really powerful leg. He's shown at times that he can kick that Aussie kick that dies inside the 20-yard line. And at times in the past in his career in college, he has been a holder. So as you mentioned, that's going to be key for him to adjust to in addition to punting. And if we see any changes at punter or long snapper over the next couple of weeks, it could be an indication of the field goal operation in addition to their specific responsibilities.
And then the 2-minute drills last night were kind of ugly. Is it good to get those growing pains out in kind of the exhibition atmosphere that family night is? Or do you think it's something that Packer fans need to worry about?
Well, if you're the defense, you were probably pretty happy with how those 2-minute drills went. The first team with Aaron Rodgers ended with a fumble when Aaron Ripkowski had the ball ripped out by Kenny Clark, I think it was, and Clay Matthews went the other way. And then Brett Hundley's group actually ended in the end zone, but it was like 2 steps forward, 1 step back with lots of penalties, lots of issues pre-snap, substitution-wise, all that stuff. So I think it is better for them to get those things out now, and that's a big focus this week is going to be on smoothing the operation before they get into an actual game.
And we keep talking about the tight ends, I know, but Richard Rodgers had himself a night last night at family night. And so is Martellus Bennett, him, and Lance Kendricks, is this like one of the most stacked positions on the Packers roster?
I think probably it is top to bottom, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with these guys because not only do they have 3 players that are capable of playing, but they've got 3 guys with totally different skill sets and totally different body types. So it gives Mike McCarthy a lot of flexibility in terms of not just what types of plays he wants to call, but where he wants to line guys up.
And then going back to kind of the training camp takeaways from this week, the running back competition is heating up below Ty Montgomery, those 3 rookies. Jamal Williams has kind of been standing out, and he's a natural. He's been playing this position actually longer than Ty Montgomery has. What is separating him at this point from those other 2 rookie running backs?
I think the biggest thing that's separating him right now is his pass protection. So when you look at the responsibilities of a running back, of course they have to carry the football, not fumble, those types of things. But they also have to protect Aaron Rodgers, especially on passing downs. And when you look at the 3 rookies, Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Mays, the coaches are pretty clear that Jamal Williams is the guy that's taken the step forward, largely because of his pass protection. And I also think he looks pretty comfortable running the ball. He was the most successful of the 3 in terms of playing at a high major school in college.
And then Malachi Dupree also looked really good at family night last night. He had a nice deep grab from Aaron Rodgers. Is he doing enough there and on special teams to kind of surpass D'Angelo Yancey to kind of make a spot on that roster?
You know, I think of those 2 guys, I would be surprised if both of them made the 53-man roster. Wow. So I think it is kind of a 1 against 1. Now, there's certainly a chance that they both could because Ted Thompson loves his draft picks, but I just think with the depth at that position, it's a little tough. So the challenge is who can do what the best, and then also how do you pick between guys with totally different bodies?
And then this week we have practice on Monday and Tuesday, and then we've got the preseason game against the Eagles Thursday. What do they need to focus on this week ahead of that live action game on Thursday?
So this week I think is going to be really key for the quarterbacks. You look at Brett Hundley, you look at Joe Callahan, you look at Taysom Hill. They have to now apply what has essentially been 5 to 6 months of OTA type practices, training camp type practices, and feel comfortable enough to command a huddle in a game, to call the audibles, to move the protection, all these types of things. So I want to look at how they're communicating throughout the week and see if they look rattled or do they look comfortable when they're going to have to apply that Thursday night against the Eagles.
All right, well, we'll see how it all shakes out. We've got that preseason game on Thursday. We'll have continued coverage of that as well. But for now, we've got some cheese. We're going to dig right in.